7-seed UCLA trying to knock off the 2-seed Tennessee. Volunteers looking for their third straight Sweet 16 for the first time in program history. Mick Cronin and Rick Barnes sharing pregame pleasantries. Hey, how you doing? You look good. Mid-first half, Chaz Lanier looking good. Knocks down the three. He had 29 in their first-round win. 40 seconds to go in the half. Lanier with the steal. Let me get that steal. Let me get that bucket. He had 12 in the first half. Tennessee up by 7 at the break. Early second half. Zakai Ziegler to Lanier. Reverse. Gets that to go. Vols up by 9. 2 minutes later. Lanier for 3. Got it. Up 9. Lanier with the most three-pointers made in a season in Tennessee history with 119 and not done. Lanier for 3. Knock it down. Up 15. He finished with a game-high 20 points. 8 minutes to go. Tennessee up 16. Ziegler to Igor Milicic. Running away with it. Just dominating. 3 minutes left. Ziegler to Jemai Meshack for 3. Old Rocky Top running away with it. 67-58. Ziegler 6 assists to go along with 15 points. And that is 3 straight Sweet 16 appearances for Tennessee for the first time in program history. They await the winner of Illinois and Kentucky. Back here in studio, Dan Dickau, Tim Doyle. Tim, you watched this game, and it was really never close. What did you see from Tennessee that stood out to you?
Yeah, Tennessee made 11 threes, Dan, and only 10 twos. And it wasn't necessarily their best game. Their star, Chaz Lanier, he got going, but they turned the ball over 18 times. This Tennessee team, in my eyes, is hard to handicap. They play hard. They have experience. They have veterans that have been around the block. But it's almost like a choose-your-own-adventure. You don't know who you're going to get. Now, they made threes today, which was great, but the turnovers were concerning. I thought their defense was great, but we've seen UCLA kind of go through tough times scoring the basketball. Team effort, they have the sauce of the older guys that played at other schools come in that have been around the block. I trust this team. You just don't know which team you're going to get, though, sometimes.
Well, I look at it in this way. You're always going to get a tremendous effort defensively from Tennessee.
That's what I meant.
And UCLA's not the most dynamic offensive attack.
Correct.
They keep things very simple. And Sky Clark had a nice game with 18 points, but Tyler Bilodeau worked hard for 13. And then you didn't get a whole lot from other guys for UCLA. So Tennessee's defense continued to perform the way they have throughout the year. The one thing that concerns me on the offensive end is those 18 turnovers that you mentioned. The further along you go in this tournament, you're going to face teams that make you pay when you give them extra possessions. Zakai Ziegler, as good as he is, 15 and 6 tonight, at times he can get squirrely with the basketball, but you know, when you look at the potential matchup for both of these two, for Tennessee, you're looking against either Illinois or Kentucky. They know Kentucky well by being in the SEC. They beat Illinois earlier this year. So if you're a Tennessee fan, you got to be feeling really good about your chances to continue to move on in March.
Yeah, you see Zakai Ziegler distributing the ball, and then they're going to run into potentially Kentucky for a third time. They played them twice this year. Lost to Kentucky twice, and in one of those games, Lamont Butler did not play. Now, Lamont Butler's not at 100%, so we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because, you know, Kentucky looked pretty good in their first game out there when they won convincingly. UCLA, let's talk about them. They looked bad. There's no other way to say it. They shot 36% from the field, 30% from three. My Aunt Louise has a glass eye, okay? Their offense could put my Aunt Louise's glass eye to sleep, UCLA. Like, they were hard to watch in this game. A lot had to do with Tennessee.
58 points, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, check out the shooting percentages, okay? Like,
putrid.
Really tough. And I picked them in the first round against Utah State because of the preparation. Mick Cronin would have a week to prepare for the game. Quick turnaround, no preparation, and they got absolutely blasted in this game. So, tough one.
Yeah, and UCLA, again, they've always had a very simple offensive attack. Mick Cronin builds his programs on toughness and defense and keeping it simple on the offensive end of the floor. When you have a great defensive team in an opponent like Tennessee, you have to find ways to get creative and manufacture buckets, whether it's a point guard who can get in the creases and spray it out to three-point shooters or finish, or you have to be able to have somebody like a Tyler Bilodeau who didn't maybe play his best tonight that can score on the low block or a step off the block, and they didn't get that.
So 8 more invitations to be handed out to the Sweet 16 on Sunday, one of them Illinois and Kentucky. So, Tim, if you're Tennessee here, who do you want to play? You saw Kentucky twice. You lost to them twice. You saw Illinois in December. You beat them on a buzzer beater. It's always tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. We see it a lot in the NBA. But when you look at how they match up, who are you rooting for, if you will?
I think you want to play Illinois. You know, then again, I have Kentucky coming out of this region, so I'm pretty high in Kentucky. And the reason I like Kentucky so much is even though Lamont Butler's not at full strength, Kentucky had 23 assists on 27 made baskets. To me, to find that connectivity, that chemistry, guys share the ball, they have 6 guys average double figures. When you're hard to guard like that, I don't want to play them. Illinois has like these great moments and then like really bad losses. Obviously, they have a top 10 pick, and Yakachonis, he's an amazing talent, their point guard. I'd rather play Illinois.
I would rather play Kentucky, and for the reason you just mentioned, the talent, the up and down. If you catch Illinois when they're on one of those up days, especially because of Yakachonis, you might be in for a long day. You have beaten Kentucky twice, so you know what it takes to beat.
Lost to Kentucky.
Lost.
Yes.
So you
got to get revenge.
Yes. So you have that revenge factor. You realize what they did to make you struggle. And to your point about Lamont Butler, he doesn't look right as compared to what he looked like early in the year or when he was with San Diego State. So Zakai Ziegler, if you're not able to pressure him the way that Lamont Butler can, now he can find ways to get in the middle of the paint and really create problems.
We will wait to see what that matchup is. Sunday, it's Illinois and Kentucky, one of 8 invitations to be handed out to the Sweet 16. For Tennessee, their 3rd straight Sweet 16 under Rick Barnes. Dan Dickau, Tim Doyle all day here in studio. Appreciate their work and insight here in the NCAA tournament. The madness is here. Don't miss a moment of the action on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. And download the March Madness Live app to watch every game, anywhere, anytime, live.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you.
Big news coming out of the NFL. A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
With highlights.
What a finish at the final round of play.
And in-depth analysis.
Can they three-peat? Tony Romo joins the conversation.
What can you say about this game?
When you need your sports in a snap,
we're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
Find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.